everyone? Welcome to the special PWX update. Brett Wolverton here with Dave Foster, Trevin Adams. We've just finished stage 1 of the X16 Tournament. What a crazy afternoon it's been here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We had, emotional moments with Drew Adler and Anthony Henry. We had a huge scare with Zach Cooper, but we're going to get to an update on that here in a moment. We've got so much to talk about. Let's just run through everything. Dave, why don't you start?
Sure, absolutely. I'm going to start with a taste of betrayal, because Logan Creed, after his match with TJ Boss won that match, and then Logan Creed decided to take it upon himself and chokeslam him through a chair. That chair splintered into thousands of pieces, and I can't imagine TJ Boss's back being any better than that.
No, and that's the situation heading into stage 2 here of X16. TJ Boss has at least one more match ahead of him, and if he has any hope of going even beyond that, we're going to find out what kind of shape he's in, and man, I'm not thinking it's looking good.
Yeah, our quarterfinalists have 3 matches coming up in stage 2 if they get to the finals, and that's a long way, especially for a guy the size of TJ Boss. And it was just 3 years ago at X16, he took that nasty fall off the ladder through 2 tables to the floor. That wasn't even into the ring, that was to the arena floor. So he already has back issues. What damage may have been done by that chair earlier?
Absolutely, and like you said, it's a long road to the finals for all these competitors. We saw Zach Cooper get injured, and we're not really sure what the rest of this tournament's going to look like. What are we going to do with that?
Yeah, it is, to the best of my knowledge, because the referee had to stop the match, Cooper is going to be out of the tournament, as far as I know.
Yeah,
if something changes, obviously we'll have updates.
No, absolutely. I feel pretty confident that it was a ref stoppage situation. Alexander Moss victorious, and it was a matchup. Both competitors pushing each other to the limit, but it was a freak situation. Teeth got knocked out of the mouth of Zach Cooper. Suddenly the lights weren't on for at least a moment. Thankfully, he did answer concussion protocol properly. We've had contact with him in the hospital. In fact, he's insisted on wanting to get back to the building just to get here to see the rest of the X16 tournament. We'll see if he can physically get cleared to get out of the hospital.
We had a big surprise. Timmy Lou Retton's opponent had to change at the last second. We were expecting ACH. As I mentioned on commentary tonight, with these tournament situations, there's also alternates that are set aside, and instead of dipping from the pool of alternates, we went to a pond, and we pulled out Rob Killjoy and the Ugly Duckouts.
Absolutely, and what a match Timmy Lou Retton and Rob Killjoy had, both taking each other to the absolute limit. Another thing, Timmy Lou Retton was pretty gassed at the end of that. Can he make it through till the end? These hard-hitting first-round matches, they don't bode well for the next 3 rounds.
No, you said it, Dave, but the reality is, Timmy Lou Retton is, we keep saying this, but it's so true in the shape of his life. I did a double take. I said, who is that guy? Excuse me, pardon me? And again, we'll find out what that conditioning is, how it can translate, especially after what Rob Killjoy and Timmy Lou pushed each other through.
One of the big, I don't know if this is necessarily an upset or not, but one of the big surprises in X16 was the iTelevision champion Cam Carter defeating Mr. PWX and the first X16 winner, Ethan Case.
Yeah, absolutely. Ethan Case, I thought he was a lot to win. He was one of my sure things. The fact that Cam Carter put away Ethan Case, Mr. PWX, in the first round of this tournament, Cam Carter is one of my picks to win. I mean, he's riding high.
Yeah, Cam Carter will be one to watch, I think, in this tournament. It opened up a lot of people's eyes.
Absolutely, and if confidence is any indication, Cam Carter came in there not only with the confidence, but able to deliver, able to keep his composure. And at the end of the day, the victory was really caused by knowing his opponent and knowing what was next. But now the challenge is, you can't predict the rest of the tournament bracket.
That's just it. We haven't seen the bracket for the second round yet. We don't know who's facing who yet in the quarterfinals. That you will have to be here in Rock Hill or watch on the High Spots Wrestling Network once it's posted, because this is not airing live. This is going to be on the High Spots Network eventually to see these second round matches.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things I'm looking forward to is seeing how Lucky Ali progresses through the X16 tournament. 2019, Fire of the Carolinas award winner. 2020 was cut short for almost all of us, but Lucky Ali is probably going to ride that wave, and I think he's going to ride that wave to the finals as well.
And congratulations goes out to classless Mason Miles. Beat his previous X16 record, was able to hold off, I should say, lasting longer this year against Chip Day than he did against TJ Boss last year with that 59-second loss. Chip Day gets the victory here, goes on to the next. Chip Day looked great today.
Amazing.
No, absolutely. This is a Chip Day that we haven't gotten to see in PWX in quite a while. Not only did he look great in the ring, but I get the feeling we have only seen the beginnings of what Chip Day can pull out of that playbook. And that's one of the things we talked about during the event. Reality is, you can't plan for Chip Day, and that's what Mason Miles found out, albeit again, credit to Mason Miles, looking darn good in that matchup. And I know you kind of jumped quick from Lucky Ali, but Savannah Evans, the cannibal, looking like a beast in her matchup too, even in defeat. I said it earlier, I said it may not be a popular comment, but usually a criticism of intergender wrestling is the disparity of size. There was no disparity of size. Savannah Evans is bigger than most of the men in this locker room.
And there were many times in that match I felt that Lucky Ali was reluctant to strike on Savannah or to attempt a certain maneuver just because of concerns of where his hands may wind up. But again, that's the risk of wrestling.
And it almost cost him that many times in that match.
That's
His
right.
hesitation, absolutely. And Lucky Ali's not really one to hesitate all that much. I was surprised to see it.
Another one advancing into the second round, another guy who has made it to the finals of this tournament, J.D. Drake. Big victory over the pure champion, Shug D.
Absolutely, and Shug D took it to James Drake in the opening contest of this tournament, but J.D. Drake just proving that his chops, that drill bit at the end was incredible. It looks like exploded Shug D into a million pieces. James Drake looking as good as ever heading into the second round.
And the guys are featured bout, that last match of the opening round. What an emotional roller coaster that was. We almost thought we weren't going to have a match between Drew Adler and Anthony Henry. Drew Adler was like, I'm going to lay down, let you go to the finals. Or, go on into the tournament. Of course, as soon as Anthony went for that cover, Drew says, no, I'm going to try to win this.
By the way, reluctantly went for that cover after a lot of discussion and disgust, to be honest.
Yeah, Drew Adler definitely tried to capitalize on the friendship between Anthony Henry and Drew Adler, and it ultimately became his undoing with Anthony Henry moving on to the second round, and one of the best matches I've seen in the X16 tournament history.
Well, and that's the thing, and you talk about the depth of the roster that's in this X16 tournament, and even what we talked about with J.D. Drake and Shug D, can you imagine that being your opening round matchup? And there were so many times we said that throughout the night, of two competitors that arguably are at a level that could win a tournament like this facing in the opening match. And the same thing with Anthony Henry, from the perspective of, as much as he was victorious, so insistent that he would fight for it, and for good reason.
Yeah, and that's the best thing, because in the second round, in the third round, we're going to see more dream matches, more PWX dream matches, competitors that have not shared a ring together in at least a one-on-one capacity. That's what makes the X16 so exciting.
And now, guys, remember last year at X16, the Heat Seekers made their PWX debut, put Drew Adler on the shelf. We don't have the tag team champions of the Revolt are not here this afternoon. They will not be as part of stage 2. The Heat Seekers have said they're going to be in Rock Hill, South Carolina. What have they got up their sleeves?
I guess we'll find out.
Do I need to be concerned? I know they're not.
They don't like you at all.
I don't think of anything I've ever done wrong to the Heat Seekers.
Hey, you guys don't know me, so leave me alone, please.
Yeah, and me too. Him.
But guys, coming up 7 o'clock here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, it's stage 2 featuring the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals of the X16 tournament. Who will join Ethan Case, J.D. Drake, Anthony Henry, Slim J, and Harlem Bravado as the X16 winner? Or will we see, Anthony Henry or J.D. Drake win it for the second time?
Absolutely, and don't forget what's at stake. Not only do you get the prestige of winning this tournament, you become a #1 contender for the PWX World Heavyweight Championship.
And the big main event, Rise of a Champion, coming up in March, our biggest event of the year. Last year we didn't get to do it because of the pandemic. This year it's on in March.
Be twice as big.
Yeah, absolutely. This is X16 is always such an exciting time around PWX. Anyone could win. We have 8 people.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the brackets turn out and to see who will be this year's X16 winner.